A good evening to you and many thanks for joining us on the evening news on ABS. My name is Ifunaya Amafli and our stories trending for this evening. The state government to launch CCTV security initiative. State government urges motorists to maintain annual vehicle roadworthiness tests to reduce accidents. Industrial court stops organized labor from embarking on indefinite strike Tuesday next week. And on the foreign scene, an Australian jailed for encouraging wife to commit suicide. And we'll start with the news in details. The state government is to launch the CCTV initiative in the security apparatus of the state very soon. Governor Willie Obiano disclosed this in Oka during the State Technical and Creativity Day. And our Government House correspondent, Kenechukwu Ofoma, brings us more on that story.
According to the governor, the CCTV cameras, which will be mounted across all nooks and crannies of the state, will have great prospects for not only security, but also for road safety. Governor Bernard revealed that the State Executive Council has approved the purchase of the cameras and they will soon be installed. The governor promised that under his watch, security will continue to receive priority attention to ensure that the state remains viable for investors who are coming in their daily age.
In a short time from now, we are going to launch CCTV initiative in security arrangement. We call it the invisible eye. No matter what you do, the CCTV will see you. And if it is something that is criminal in nature, we will very easily pick you up without wasting time. It's going to be a big deal. People in ESCO will attest to the fact that we just approved the purchase of those items. There will be millions of them stored everywhere. You would see them under mango, under everywhere. So no matter what you do, we'll pick you up. And it will create job for over 200 youths who will be monitoring the system 24 hours.
Governor Obiano further said his government will take advantage of the creativity which the technical colleges in the state avails to advance security and other sectors of the state economy.
I want to tell you without fear of being challenged that Anambra youths are the most productive and creative youths we have in this country. We set up this innovation center that we are going to call Anambra Innovation Center. You know, it's going to be a big, massive building with proper library type of sitting arrangement, with laptops properly connected, 24-hour power supply. Anybody that is creative can rent a little space, you know, and be there to do a lot of brain work.
In Oka, I am Kenechukwu Ofoma, reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State Government has called on all motorists to always go for annual vehicle road worthiness test in order to minimize the rate of accidents on roadways. The Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solo Chukwulobelu, made the call during the 2018 National Conference of Directors and Chief Road Traffic Officers of the Federation, Vehicle Inspection Officers VIOs in Oka, and our correspondent Emmanuel Chiagbata has the detailed report.
Professor Chukwulobelu, who recalled that years back the state of road in the country were terribly poor, applauded the federal and Anambra state governments for improving the road conditions in Nigeria. He said it has made tremendous progress by ensuring that VIO's practices in Anambra becomes the best in the country, and underscored the need for VIOs and other agencies, including Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Civil Defense, and the Nigerian Police Force, to collaborate and streamline functions to ensure that there is orderliness on the road.
The driver, the vehicle, and the road itself, very important components. If any one of them is not there, the risk of accidents.
In a remark, the Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Uchenna Okafor, noted that Road Traffic Management Agency and Road Safety Corps are very important in the state due to the fact that Anambra is the gateway to other states across Southeast and other states in the country, and reiterated the relevance of safety of vehicles and security in protecting lives and properties.
Road traffic management and road safety is very important to us because Anambra is the gateway to the Southeast, South-South, and some part of North Central, and also the transit zone to all those areas. So the level of traffic here is very, very, very high, and considering the small landmass we have.
Earlier in an address, the acting national chairman of VIOs of the Federation, Mr. Gabagaya, maintained that drivers contribute to road accidents and disclosed plans to ensure that drivers are properly trained, tested, and licensed before plying on the road. He commended Governor Obiano and the Ministry of Transport for their support in making the conference a reality.
And the deliberation at this meeting here in the city of Oka will immensely contribute to the reduction of traffic accidents on our roadways.
The keynote speaker, who is the immediate past chairman of VIOs of the Federation, Reverend Otuyemi Bayo, noted that there are 3 essential factors that are needed to be worked upon in order to enhance a sustainable road traffic safety and security, including the state of vehicle, driver, and road. Reverend Bayo, however, appreciated the efforts of state governments, especially Anambra state government, that has since moved from level of no inspection, partial inspection, and manual inspection to computerized inspection. The conference themed Innovative Strategies for Enhancing Sustainable Road Traffic Safety and Security attracted the traditional ruler of Oka, Obigi Singwosu, Senior Special Assistant to Governor on Public Transport, Mr. Ralph Okoye, and other government functionaries. Governor Obiano was also decorated as the mayor of VIOs in the state, alongside the Commissioner for Transport. In Oka, Emmanuel Chibata, ABS News.
Today is the All Souls Day. All Souls Day is a holiday set aside for honoring the dead. The day is primarily celebrated in the Catholic Church, Anglican Church, and a few other denominations of Christianity. According to the Catholic belief, the soul of a person who dies can go to one of 3 places. The first is heaven, where a person who dies in a state of perfect grace and communion with God goes. The second is hell, where those who die in a state of mortal sin are naturally condemned by their choice. The intermediate option is purgatory, which is thought to be where most people, free of mortal sin, but still in a state of lesser venial sin, must go. Purgatory is necessary so that souls can be cleansed and perfected before they enter into heaven. And there is a spiritual basis for this belief. A 10-member committee has been inaugurated by Orumba North Local Government Council to find a lasting solution to the lingering land dispute between Obu and Indi-Keliomu communities. And we have the rest of these details.
Addressing the members while inaugurating them at the council headquarters at Jali, the transition committee chairman of Orumba North, Honorable Ifio Binabo, enjoined them to discharge their duties without fear or favor so that peace can be restored between the 2 communities, which she described as brothers. Honorable Binabo, who regretted that the land dispute has continued to generate allegations and counter-allegations of invasion and violence, which led to her prompt interventions and visit to the traditional ruler of Obun, Igwe MC Okechukwu, and Indi-Keliomu counterpart, Eze Professor Chukwuemeka Ike, said the development should not be allowed to continue. She reminded the communities that peaceful and harmonious coexistence would accelerate all development of the area and help to entrench Governor Obiano's policy of sustaining stability across the state.
Anyị na ha nọ na these laws, the biko ha nwee ndidi ejikwa na iwe dodo kpọ ya ọkụ, maka na ọ dị reason to lose somebody. You know, not the calm, the kaki at any. Fear has calm down.
Gentleman,
they should calm down. They should calm down. And at the end of the day, the people that committed this crime will not be left free.
Honorable Binabo urged members of the committee to work diligently and objectively to achieve the desired goals. The committee has 2 weeks to conclude its assignment. It
is now a Save My Soul plea for little Miss Amuche Uzoanwu, who is now bedridden with what her doctors describe as a yet-to-be-diagnosed type of breast cancer. Mrs. Uzoanwu, 17 years of age and currently admitted in the female surgical ward of the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amaku, in Awka, needs a total of 1.5 million naira to complete both her pre- and post-diagnostic treatments for a cancer in her left breast. And our correspondent, Daniel Ezeigwe, has more on that.
Describing the nature and extent of the ailment, Amuche's doctor and a surgeon in the hospital, Dr. Chidi Ndo, said the setbacks in the preliminary treatment of the little girl have been complicated by lack of funds to mitigate the sickness, which is gradually advancing and is also affecting her bloodstream. Dr. Ndo also noted that necessary medical processes required by the patient have been hampered by lack of money.
He has been diagnosed with right breast cancer, advanced stage. Currently now, the cancer site is infected, so she's also battling with sepsis, that is infection that has gotten into the blood, and that's why all her body parts are swollen for now. So what she needs now primarily is one, very good antibiotics, which are costly, to fight the infections, and then two, for us to do a minimal surgery just to collect some samples out of the ulcerated breast and then do histology. Histology is a test we do to discover the kind of cancer in particular, what type of cancer in particular is she afflicted with. And then that will not tell us what drugs, what cancer drugs to use for her.
Patient's sibling, Ms. Chioma Uzoanwu, highlighted the origin of the ailment and appealed to well-meaning groups and individuals to come to the rescue of her sister, whose case, she said, is slowly deteriorating.
So I feel that no just ordinary something now going now. You know, from there, you know, more antibiotic, the sham and does. Come out with them and the thing I stop. Me half for the warrior and able to say, nay, sick, or press on nay, sick, neighbor, more. Akayama, the other side, Akaya, that area, that in Maria, and I has a queer a mayor. So I need their help because some way I get you a good mob and a secretary, and I need their help.
Ms. Amuche Uzoanwu is a bright student who recently wrote her WAEC exams and needs urgent assistance by Nigerians to continue her dreams. From the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, Amaku, Awka, Daniel Ezeigwe reporting for ABS News.
On the national scene, the National Industrial Court of Nigeria has ordered the organized labor, comprising the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, not to embark on its indefinite strike scheduled to commence on November 6th. Justice Sanusi Kado on Friday gave the order in a ruling on an ex parte application moved on behalf of the federal government by the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Mr. Dayo Apata. Agreeing with Mr. Apata, Justice Kado ruled that if the strike is allowed, it will lead to huge economic loss to both public and private institutions and could jeopardize the health of many Nigerians who would not be able to access health facilities during the period. The organized labor had threatened to commence an indefinite strike action to press for the increase in the national minimum wage from the current 18,000 naira. The last meeting of the tripartite negotiation committee on the minimum wage had ended in deadlock after the federal government insisted that it would only afford to pay 24,000 naira, while the governors under the aegis of the Nigerian Governors Forum had held on to 22,500 naira and Labour 30,000 naira. Apart from the NLC and the TUC, the NGF is also enjoined as a defendant in the suit. Justice Kado adjourned the matter till November 8th for the hearing of the motion on notice, seeking the interlocutory injunction to stop the strike. The judge ordered that the court order and other papers be filed on all the defendants. Meanwhile, the organized labor has insisted on embarking on a nationwide strike over the non-implementation of 30,000 naira as the new national minimum wage, in spite of the National Industrial Court ruling in Abuja. Mr. Ayuba Waba, President Nigerian Labour Congress, said this in an interview in Abuja on Friday. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja has restrained the organized labor from proceeding on nationwide strike on Friday. The nationwide strike by organized labor is scheduled to commence on November 6th over the new national minimum wage for workers in the country. According to WABA, labor is not aware of any court ruling and has not been served any notice. More in the Anambras have continued to congratulate the state governor, Chief Willie Obiano, and his wife, Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, on their 30th wedding anniversary. And we'll join our correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, for the rest of that story.
Congratulating the couple, the state president Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Damian Okeke Ogene, thanked God for sustaining their marriage till date. As according to him, 30 years of marriage is not easy, as marriage journey is filled with ups and downs. Chief Okeke Ogene appreciated the governor and his wife on their numerous achievements in the state, especially in the first term of the administration, calling for continuity this second term in office, with emphasis on road infrastructures.
First of all, you have to play the God. Secondly, you must try to be accommodating. The person you are marrying is not your, even if you are the same mother. It's just a strange person was brought into a family. You are trying to blend him with your family and blend with your in-laws family. It is and public too, because of more especially people on a high class like them. The entire public eye is on them, so they are very careful and cautious, and that's why we must thank God for them.
On our part, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Political Matters, Dr. Vero Okechukwu, who observed that love and tolerance are the ingredients that kept the couple together all these years, described the couple as models to every marriage, describing Governor Obiano as an epitome of true husband, which she said is obvious in the way he supports his wife's NGO, the Caring Family Enhancement Initiative, CAFE, that has positively affected thousands of lives. Dr. Okechukwu advised couples to always respect, love, and maximally support their spouses, as it remains the only means of surmounting the marriage challenges.
The love they have for each other is so much behind it, and that love is not one-sided, the way I see it. They are all in love. They are both in love with each other, and that love has kept them.
Contributing, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Government Press, Mr. Peter Okechukwu, thanks God for binding the couple together with unfailing love, adding that the governor and the wife are blessings to the state, as the state has witnessed all-round development.
Also DM Kachuku zitelive na Anambra State nekwe wegono gondo ka nwe nwike nwana alụ ọlụwa na alụ na enaya nazo.
In Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And on the foreign scene, an Australian man has been sentenced to 10 years in jail for encouraging his wife's suicide, in a case believed to have set a global precedent. Graham Morant, 68, was convicted last month of counseling and aiding his wife, Jennifer Morant, to take her own life in 2014. He had been motivated by a desire to access Mrs. Morant's life insurance benefits. A judge ruled, as sole beneficiary, Morant had stood to receive a $1.4 million. Mrs. Morant had suffered from chronic pain, depression and anxiety, but was not terminally ill. Justice David said it appeared to be the first time globally that a person had been sentenced for counseling someone to die by suicide. Morant had pleaded not guilty to the charges, but a jury found that Mrs. Morant would not have ended her life without his counseling. The 56-year-old woman was found dead alongside a petrol generator in her car on 30th November 2014. Nearby, a note read, "Please don't resuscitate me." Her husband had previously driven her to a hardware store to buy the generator, the jury was told. Morant, a devout Christian, had told his wife that he planned to use the insurance money to build a religious commune, according to the prosecutors. Justice David said Morant had shown no remorse for his offenses. Morant received a maximum 10-year sentence for the charge of counseling suicide and a 6-year sentence for the charge of aiding suicide. The sentences will be served concurrently. He will not be eligible for parole until October 2023. The remains of late Mr. Angus Mufo Eloka has been laid to rest in his country home, Ezinimo village in Eziowele, in Idemili North Council area. Late Angus Iloka retired as a Deputy Director, News and Current Affairs, ABS, and will join Chidinma Ikeyanwomu, who was there and then files the rest of this report.
During his service years, Mr. Iloka left commendable legacy which perhaps attracted the staff of the News and Current Affairs Department of ABS to come out in their numbers to pay him last respect. During the burial ceremony, different groups in their different uniforms, dances and displays sympathized with the family. Condoling with the bereaved, the Director, News and Current Affairs Department, Mr. Gabe Okpaleze, described the deceased as a peace-loving man and prayed God to comfort those he left behind. Responding on behalf of the family, an elder brother to the deceased, Chief Okey Iloka, thanked ABS family and others for honoring the deceased, praying God to bless and keep the establishment. In an interview, the first son of the deceased, Mr. Nnamdi Iloka, and the daughter-in-law, Mrs. Chidinma Iloka, described their late father as a teacher, mentor, and a disciplinarian, and appreciated those that came to be with them in their moment of grief. The Ogene people, Umuada, and the band were also there to add color to the ceremony. From Ezinimo village, Eziowele, in Idemili North Council area, I am Chidinma Ikeyanwomu reporting for ABS News.
Chidinma Ikeyanwomu, thank you for that report. And don't forget, you can follow our news and programs from any part of the world simply by logging on to our website, which is www.absradiotv.com, or like us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, or follow us on our Twitter and Instagram handle at ABS Radio TV. And before we end the news, we'll go through the stories trending for this evening. The state government is to launch CCTV security initiative. The state government has urged motorists to maintain annual vehicle roadworthiness tests to reduce accidents. Industrial Court has stopped organized labor from embarking on indefinite strike Tuesday next week. And on the foreign scene, an Australian has been jailed for encouraging his wife to commit suicide. And with that, we come to a wrap on the evening news. Many thanks for being with us. My name is Ifunanya Amafli. Do have a pleasant evening.